Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for August 16th, 2019. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. If you want to learn more about these stories, come up with your own opinions, check out the show notes down below. You can find all the stories we talk about in the order we talk about them down there. If you're new here, hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It helps us a lot because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Let's get into it. Roku has a sale right now on their 4K HDR Roku Premier. This is the cheapest way by far to get a 4K HDR Roku at this moment. For $34.99 on sale, typically $39.99, it's a pretty good deal. Now, if you can afford it, the Roku Stick Plus and the Roku Ultra, much better experience with your streaming quality and everything. But for the discount price of $34.99, this is a perfect cheap 4K HDR player, maybe for the kids' room, maybe for the den, wherever, to check it out. Link in the show notes down below if you want to help us with that. All right, first news story up of the day. Sony has reached out to its affiliates and others to inform them that they are, quote, deprioritizing PlayStation Vue across all platforms. Yesterday, Sony's affiliate team reached out to all other affiliates to inform them that they are deprioritizing PlayStation Vue across all channels. That includes the affiliate program. Now, a lot of people have tried to say, well, this is just the affiliate. It doesn't mean much. When you read the email, it's pretty clear that it's not limited to the affiliate. When you're talking about channels, you're often talking about marketing channels, which probably means Sony's deprioritizing marketing of PlayStation Vue right now. Now, a lot of people have come out and say, oh, this probably means PlayStation Vue is going to shut down, go and sell, all this. I was pretty clear in the story that, no, I don't believe PlayStation Vue is going to shut down. Just because they're deprioritizing marketing of it does not mean the service is going to end. They just struck an update deal with all kinds of companies. Turner, NBC Universal, Discovery, I think was one of them. Maybe not, I can't remember that. No, I don't believe Discovery was. I apologize, I'm confusing that with the other service. And they reached deals to add the ACC network along with the NHL network to PlayStation Vue. So I don't think it's going away. So what do I think is happening? I think Sony is back down. Remember, about a year ago, Sony really ramped up their focus on PlayStation Vue. They struck new partnerships with Apple and Amazon to better integrate it. They started doing more marketing around the company again. Now it seems like they're not doing that at the moment. What does this mean? Your guess can be as good as mine, but I don't believe Sony's throwing in the towel. Now, Sony has had their PlayStation Vue service stuck in about 5th place for a while now, behind DirecTV Now, Hulu, Sling TV, and YouTube TV. Sling TV reportedly has about over 2.2 million according to Sling TV, and PlayStation Vue is reportedly only about 800,000, with services that are far newer like Hulu and YouTube TV and DirecTV Now, all with more subscribers. Though I'll have to check the DirecTV Now one once we find out what their drop in subscribers is. So I'm very interested to see what happens here. There's been a lot of debate about the future of PlayStation Vue. How serious is Sony about it? They did just revamp the website to remove a lot of the mentions of the PlayStation and make it very clear that you don't need a PlayStation. So it seems very weird after a new website, a lot of effort behind striking new deals, another price hike, to suddenly today say, oh, we're de-emphasizing it. So we'll have to wait and see. I'd love to know what you think, though. What do you think Sony's up to? Like I said, I don't expect them to shut down. Some people have debated, are they selling PlayStation Vue? That may make sense, but even that I find a little unlikely right now. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in the long run. And I'd love to know what you think. But again, be careful of all the doomsday scenarios. Just because you're de-emphasizing something doesn't mean it's getting shut down. So keep that in mind. And let me know what you think. Next story up of the day. So the research firm Moffett-Nathanson, which is one of the more well-respected ones, came out with a little update on their thoughts about the live TV streaming market. They're predicting that it's slowing down. And they've correctly, I think, pointed out the fact that while cord cutting is growing in record rates, cord cutting has never grown faster, the number of people picking to use live TV streaming services is slowing down, especially from what people predicted. According to Craig Moffett, from Moffett-Nathanson, which is a very well-respected research firm that studies this space. He says, as subscription gains for vMVPDs, which is industry term for live TV streaming services, have slowed, the starry-eyed ambitions of their corporate parents that they would eventually monetize huge subscriber bases with addressable advertising and or other revenue streams have taken a significant hit. Witness AT&T dramatically different tone with respect to DirecTV Now, which was once a pillar of their modern media company strategy, and now just 18 months later looks to be slated for something close to elimination in favor of a completely different approach with HBO Max. I wanted to talk about this because this is a very interesting point of view from an analyst who studies the space, and people pay him to understand what's happening so that they can invest properly. So when these people kind of put this out, give it some heed. These are often people who are representing people trying to make money on this space. So their thoughts are usually closer to reality than you would expect sometimes, though I often disagree. But this one I kind of understand. DirecTV Now has definitely been downplayed. They've really cut back on all the promotions, all the marketing for DirecTV Now. When's the last time you saw a TV commercial for DirecTV Now? It's been a while for me. I don't think I've seen one. I'm not really seeing banner ads for DirecTV Now like I used to, and more. They have really pulled back on this, and now AT&T's several executives, including during their second quarter of 2019's earnings call, made it clear that the new AT&T TV service, not to be confused with AT&T TV Now, which is rolling out later, will be the main focus of AT&T, not DirecTV Now. So I think it's very interesting. Now, CNBC has said that AT&T, according to their sources, is intending to eventually merge the new AT&T TV Now into HBO Max. In a very Hulu-esque, you have HBO Max on demand at a price, and you can add live TV at the top. I think that's a great news. But it is very clear that AT&T's kind of looked at DirecTV Now, I believe, and I kind of agree with them that they've looked at DirecTV Now and said, you know what, this isn't what we want it to be. The subscriber base is usually people who are just desperately looking for cheap discounts rather than high quality. AT&T was very clear that they are pushing people on promotional packages off, not just with DirecTV Now, but with DirecTV and Uverse also. That they want to keep the highly profitable customers with that. AT&T CEO has been very clear. They don't care if you cancel if you're not what they consider a highly profitable customer. DirecTV Now was kind of built on the idea that they were going to attract those highly unprofitable or highly discount-seeking, highly unprofitable customers and try to turn them into profitable ones. For one way or the other, that doesn't seem to have come to be. It's very interesting because at the same time that this is happening, YouTube and Hulu are singing the praises of their live TV service. And I wonder how much that has to do with Google and Hulu just being better at the ad structure of this side. One of the strangest things about some of these services is you watch them and then the ads are blank. Well, when those ads are blank, that means they're not selling ads there and they're not able to monetize that. That's a massive setback for these companies. One that seems that Google and Hulu have been better about, even Sling TV's been a lot better at. Hulu CEO, this isn't live TV, but this is about their on-demand service, said they make more money off the $5.99 limited commercial plan than they do the commercial-free plan that's much more expensive. That's because they make more money by the ads. So I find that very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting time. So a lot of people are like, oh, I might as well go back to cable. Just remember, just because one or two services may not work out like we thought they would or like a company thought they would, that's kind of good with cord cutting. The great thing about cord cutting is, hey, the best services will rise to the top. There's no contracts, right? If tomorrow morning T-Mobile comes out with their T-Mobile TV streaming service that, let's say it's better than everything on the market, you could be there tomorrow. Some people have said YouTube TV is better. Some people have said Hulu and more. The best services will rise to the top. Maybe this new HBO Max with TV package could be the best deal out there. We don't know. But the great thing with cord cutting is we can switch to those instantly and back if you want. There's no contracts, nothing locking you in. There's no artificially created monopolies like we see with cable TV. So I'll be very interested to see what happens. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the future of this. What do you think of Moffett-Nathanson's predictions here, their comments? I kind of agree with one aspect of it, that AT&T is definitely not putting the attention to DirecTV Now that they did in the past. And they were very clear in the earnings call that AT&T TV, the streaming version of DirecTV and Uverse we'll call it, is now their main focus. So leave us a comment. All right, we posted our update this morning of the top 10 free Fire TV apps as of August 2019. These are the apps that include free content, though some of them may also include paid content out there. But this gives you a quick look at some of the most popular ones. And as you would expect, YouTube, the official YouTube app, has jumped to the top of the list. And all the unofficial YouTube apps have fallen off the list completely. Now, they're still there. Amazon hasn't removed them, but their popularity has taken a huge hit with the launch of YouTube's official app. And then followed by Pluto, Tubi, NBC, Fox Sports, and more. Now, like I said, Fox Sports and NBC has some free content, and others is behind a paywall, so keep that in mind. What I thought was very interesting is all the news services have fallen out of the top 10. With the last presidential election and for some time after, news apps dominated Fire TV's top 10 list. Now, ABC News, NBC, Fox News, and more have all fallen out of the top 10. And I wonder if this is a little news overload. I'd love to know what people think. If you're burned out on news, maybe just people find news. Maybe people, maybe Pluto TV and Stir and these other apps with news also in it, along by entertainment. Maybe that's the future. I'd love to know. Take a look at that list down below. What apps are you surprised are on the top 10 list? Please, what apps do you think should be there? Please keep it limited to the official Fire TV App Store and no piracy ones, please. All right. One kind of good news that creators on YouTube have been very excited about is YouTube is changing how it handles copyright claims. So it used to be, let's say I was doing a video at CES and I walked by a booth and just some background noise, or I was on the street and a car drove by blaring music and more. Well, there was a whole industry of people watching YouTube videos looking for short snippets of music like that would allow them to claim the entire video's profit. You've seen major YouTube stars complain about this. Hey, I was live streaming, a car drives by, and now my 2.5 hour live stream is completely demonetized, and all the money from that video is going to this company because they heard a slight snippet of their content. Now YouTube's come out and said, music and copyright content from passing cars, or maybe you walk by a store and in the background behind you, there's a TV on the screen with content. That's not gonna be there. 5 seconds or less kind of little music clips are not gonna allow music companies to come and monetize that. If it's a small percentage of the video, they can't try to take all the profit of it anymore. And we've had this happen to us. We've done demos where we're like demoing a new Roku app, and the reason why I don't really show a lot of video and the reason I don't ever have the music on anymore is we've had during the opening of the app, a little sound blur played where the app opened on Roku, and my entire video was claimed because the company behind that sound manually claimed it. Now YouTube says they have to specifically list when that claim, what they're making the claim on, and they can prevent you from monetizing it, but they can't take all the money. And you as a content creator now can go in and just say, hey, that 2 seconds, we're going to cut the music out, we're going to replace the music, we're going to just edit that whole 5 seconds out of the video to release that copyright claim. So YouTube is trying to honor both, right? We want to honor people with legitimate copyright claims. I'm sure Google and all these places don't want me just putting pirated content on the stream all the time, and I get that. At the same time, there's fair use, right? We want to make sure we're protecting fair use and not allowing the system to be abused. YouTube, in their post about this, says this system that was allowing people to claim full videos for even a few seconds of a 20-minute video says this has created an aggressive manual claiming of very short clips used in monetized videos. So they're addressing it. There's whole companies that have popped up in this space, which will basically like, hey, we'll help you find your content, we get a cut of profit. Now that's great. I actually think this is a good thing to have, people try to defend copyright as long as it's fairly done. And I think that's what YouTube's trying to do. As with all of these things, it's kind of one of those situations where we're too far one way, then we go too far the other, and we try to eventually find somewhere in the middle where it's fair for both the content creators and the people creating content on YouTube, which may be just something out in reality where music is blaring and more. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this. Are you a YouTuber? Have you experienced this issue? Are you happy with YouTube's system here to try to make YouTube more friendly to creators and still protect copyright owners? All right, next story up of the day. Plex is offering or is rolling out a new desktop app. So Plex has pulled their old app off the Windows Store. They are rolling out a new app for Mac OS and Windows with new features, a new updated look, and more. Plex is saying you need to upgrade it to this over time if you want to keep using it. Now, Plex is a great app. Now it's a media center app where you can take all your videos and more and stream it to many places. I use it when we digitalize all of our old family videos. I was able to put them on a Plex server for all the family to enjoy. The other great thing about Plex is it really is a good DVR for your antenna, where you can plug your antenna into it, to your media center, and have it manage your TV there. So if you haven't used Plex for antenna and you have a home media server, you may want to check that out. They have a new app. If you've used the new app, let me know what you think of it. And lastly, Ultraviolet shut down recently, which was a service that allowed, if you ever bought a DVD, it had that little digital code in it, you could go enter that code. Now they did allow you to move your movies to other services, but a lot of people have been asking what service like Ultraviolet can be kind of a repository for movies from all over the place. Movies Anywhere, while not quite perfect, is a pretty good option. It used to be called Disney Movies Anywhere, but now it does a lot more than Disney. It allows you to take your purchases from iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and others and collect them into a single app that if you bought an iTunes movie on the Apple TV, you could watch it through Movies Anywhere, assuming it was supported on your Roku. This is a really great tool, and it's a great backup tool too, to make sure you don't ever one day lose access to the content you've paid for. I highly recommend you check it out in the show notes down below, and maybe consider doing it. It's owned by Disney, but it supports non-Disney movies also. Not everybody's partnered with this, so not all movies will work on it, but it's a good collection of them. So link in the show notes down below if you want to learn more about Movies Anywhere. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I know many people are going back to school. Some went back this week. A lot are going back next week. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend if you're trying to squeeze out a tiny bit more of summer. Be safe out there, though. Travel safely, play safe. We'll see you here tomorrow for more cord cutting news, tips, tricks, and reviews. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.